today we are talking about mindfulness. We're talking about how to leave yesterday in yesterday. For years, I struggled with kind of cutting ties with the things people said to me, the mistakes that I've made, and I found myself moving into the next day, today, reliving the past. Taking what happened the day before, the week before, the month before, the year before, 10 years before, and rehashing it into today's scenario. Taking my wounds that I had, self-inflicted or externally, and putting them on the current situation. And then when things didn't go right, it made it really easy for me to blame everybody else. And then that cycle just continued. And then I wondered why my life wasn't moving in the right direction, why I wasn't getting the results I want, I wasn't making the money I want, I wasn't as healthy as I wanted to be. And I don't want you to fall into that cycle. I've been there. It sucks. We can pull ourselves out of that. And today's theme is mindfulness and leaving yesterday in yesterday. That you can wake up today, you can wake up tomorrow, and you can have a brand new day. You know, it's kind of a mind game that when we think about it, we have the ability to wake up and have a brand new slate. Yet why is it that we don't allow ourselves that? It's not your mother, it's not your dispatcher, it's not your company owner, it's not your wife, it's not your husband, it's not, like, nobody's making you do that unless we give them permission. Hey, John, great to see you. You know what to do if you're on. Drop it in the comment section. Let me know and where you're tuning in from and say hi. I so appreciate all of those great faces, new and reoccurring. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're talking about leaving the past in the past, leaving yesterday behind us, and what it is that we can do to step forward into today, right now in this moment. Not tomorrow, but like right now, to be able to reach our goals, to be able to live our best life possible, as cliche as that sounds, to be able to experience life in a way that serves us and the people that we love most and the people that we influence and affect. And so when we find ourselves taking with yesterday's garbage, yesterday's heaviness, yesterday's load, it can feel overwhelming. And it's a spiral, it's a downward spiral where nobody wins. And if you're like me, where you wait for the other person to fix themselves, you're going to be disappointed to find out that you may be waiting a long time and your life may never get better. You are in the driver's seat, my friend. You get to make decisions in your life at any moment. And when I started understanding this to the fullest extent, when I started really recognizing how much control over my own life I have, because we can control two things. You ready? Get your pencils out. Get your pencil out. We can control our actions in life, and we get to control our reactions in life. We get to control our actions in life. We get to control our reactions in life. We can control how it is we step into today, and we get to control how we respond to yesterday. Every single one of us has that ability. We don't need to wait for anybody. We don't need any magic formula. And so when you find that today, the next day, the next day, the next day is just like not going well, it's a learned behavior to point the finger at yourself and go, what do I need to change? How can I improve myself? It's a superpower to be able to turn back onto yourself and go, how can I improve myself? How can I increase happiness? Step one, stop waiting for other people to make those changes so that you'll be happy. But in order to let go of yesterday, so you can step into today, so that you can reach your goals, be happy, see the world as amazing as it is, because it's easy to get bogged down by all the BS that's floating around out there, I want you to do three things. Number one is I want you to create a positive mantra. We call it a mantra in yoga, but it's an affirmation or a phrase that you can say to yourself when the yesterdays start creeping in. Now, this might sound like woo-woo, or like that's so dumb, or like that's what like people do on a yoga mat or whatever, but no, here's the reality. What we say to ourselves, we act on. So if we keep telling our brain that we suck, we're a loser, nobody likes us, everybody's out to get us, nothing goes right in my life, I'm fat, ugly, stupid, dumb, nothing works, I'm broke. If that's what we're telling us, ourselves, because that's what our yesterdays were telling us. Do you know that nothing will change in your current situation? So come up with a positive phrase that you can say to yourself every day. Nobody needs to know about it. Hey, Joey, nobody needs to know about it. I love it, John. I got this. You got this. We got this. I am smart. I'm intelligent. I am strong. I am a six-figure earner. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever it is that's the problem, turn that into a positive statement and say that to yourself. Better yet, put it on a Post-it note and stick it on your dashboard. For those of you that have worked with me before in your Wellness Pit Stop and over in your Mother Trucker Yoga app and platform, you know that I'm a big fan of Post-it notes. I have one right here. I have these in my vehicle. A lot of our drivers have them posted all over on their dashboard on their car because it's right in your face. Post that on your dashboard. Put it as an alarm in your phone. Come up with a positive affirmation or statement that you can say to yourself. Now, if a part of your brain is saying, don't do it, that's dumb, stupid, guess what? That's your yesterdays not wanting you to change today. That's your yesterday's BS bullshit telling your today that you shouldn't change. So that's step one. Create a positive phrase that you can say to yourself that you can see every single day. Because you got to change the language in the brain in order to have a different outcome. Step two is I want you to think about creating space every single day for yourself. That's 3 to 5 minutes where you just turn everything off and you just breathe. That's where when you're driving, there's no radio, there's no nothing. You actually are just present driving. That's actually a form of meditation where you just do the thing that you're doing and only that thing. Before you go to bed at night, turn off Facebook. Well, watch my stuff first, of course. Turn off Facebook, turn the lights down, take a hand to your chest and belly, and just focus on your breathing. We live in a society that really loves and capitalizes on busyness and clutter and the rise and grind mentality. And I got to be honest with you guys, it's slowly kind of strangling us. We lose ourselves. It's like, what are we chasing? And so call time out on yourself. Call time out on yourself and take 5 minutes. This is a challenge for some of us. 5 minutes in your day. I don't care where you do it. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, morning, noon, or night, 1 a.m., 1 p.m., doesn't matter. 5 minutes. Set an alarm on your phone if you need to, where you're just going to be still. If you want to play some relaxing music, that's fine. Focus on your breathing, but you're just going to be still. And in that time, what I want you to pay attention to is the busyness in your mind starting to creep in, because it's going to happen. It'll be like the floodgates opening on a river and all the thoughts coming in, all the yesterdays coming in, but you have to stay on the riverbank, okay? If your thoughts are in the river, watch them, acknowledge them. It's okay. Like if you're watching a movie, but don't engage. Don't have the conversation in your head about them. The yesterdays are done, and let that pass. That's practicing mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness isn't getting rid of all the thoughts in your head. It's learning how to notice them, but not engage with them. It's realizing that they're there, but not acting on them. And when we spend all day distracted, keeping ourselves busy, keeping our mind focused on other things, we eventually have to take the time to breathe and just be where we are. So that's step 2. If you want to leave the yesterdays in the past, step 1, create a positive saying, phrase, affirmation, mantra, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter, they're all the same, that you can say to yourself every single day. And if you're thinking that's silly, dumb, or stupid, I got news for you. Whatever you're telling your brain every single day is what you're acting on, whether you believe it or not. So start telling yourself something positive. And if you're resistant, you have your answer right there. Your yesterdays are not wanting you to change your todays. Step 2 is take 5 minutes out of your day. I don't care where you do it. Set a timer if you have to, where you're just still. It might be uncomfortable. You might be fidgety. Your mind might fight with you all the time. But that's the point. If it was easy, we wouldn't need to do it. But we all have 5 minutes. I have a saying that if you have time for social media, you have time for mindfulness, you have time for meditation, you have time for a timeout. And when you actually give yourself that time and that clarity, you actually make more time in your day. You're more focused, you're more attentive, you're more relaxed, you're calmer. You're in today versus trying to drag with yesterday, which clearly we know is not working, right? Which is part of our unhappiness. I learned a long time ago, my happiness is my responsibility. It's not anybody else's. And the second I learned that and I started implementing that into my everyday life, wow, did my life change. The opportunities, how I feel, the people I attracted, complete change. So I want that for you too. Okay. Number 3, what can you change and what can you focus on? So what is it that I can change in my life? That's step 1 in this last one. And what am I choosing to focus on? So what you focus on is what you become. And when we recognize what we can change, we now are in the driver's seat. So step 1 of this 3-step process, create an affirmation, create a positive statement. Step 2, 5 minutes of timeout time, of mindfulness, of just silence, breathing, focus, doing nothing else, no multitasking. And step 3 is recognize what you can and can't change. Okay? Recognize what you can and can't change. And start to pay attention to what your thoughts are focusing on. Start to recognize what it is you are putting all of your mental energy into. See, for me, I was putting all my mental energy into how everybody else was ruining my life. How everybody else was the problems to why I couldn't get into recovery, why I was so miserable, why I was this and that. It was everybody else's fault. And the stillness, that 5 minutes, helped me to realize that I was bringing that yesterday into today. I was the one trying to relive that. Like nobody was doing that to me. Whatever happened to me 5 years ago, I was the one dragging it with. I was the one reliving it. I was the one creating all of these artificial scenarios. I was the one projecting onto other people, and they were just reacting and responding to me. And so this number 3, which is probably the hardest, but it's the most profound, is ask yourself, what can and can't I change? And starting to create awareness around your thoughts. Starting to create awareness around that, where you're putting your focus, where you're putting your attention. For many drivers, I'm working with them when it comes to losing weight and getting more mobile. And if we always focus on the fact that the truck stop doesn't have good options, guess what? You're never going to see the options that they have. If you keep telling yourself that I can't be healthy because I'm a truck driver, well, guess what? You are going to see all the reasons why you can't be healthy because you're a truck driver. What can you change today? What can't you change today? Where am I putting my focus and attention? And am I ready to make that shift? Do you actually want to let go of yesterday? Or do you love that story? Do you love that scenario? Is it comfortably uncomfortable? You hate it, but it's familiar. And there's something comfortable about familiar. If this repeats itself, at least I know what's going to happen. Therefore, I can never get hurt. No one can ever get to me. It's not the way to live your best life. That's not the way for you to find happiness. And that's not the way for you to put your best foot forward today. I'll leave you with this. You can be whoever you want to be. You can move forward however you choose to move forward. You are in the driver's seat. Which direction you drive is completely up to you. That's what I got for you guys today. Thanks for tuning in for Monday's Motivation. You know what to do. Show the love down in that bottom corner. It costs you nothing. You don't have to do anything, but just hit that button down there. And more importantly, if you know other drivers or other people that this message would benefit from, all you have to do is hit that share button. We appreciate that. That's how we, myself, at Mother Trucker Yoga, get the message out and get the word out and help other people just like you improve their lives with small, simple changes. Until I see you guys again, probably Wednesday for Wednesday's Wellness. I will see you again really soon. Don't forget to hit that share and like button, and let's make today a great one. Let's leave the past in the past, and let's roll strong into the future. Peace out.